I feel like that other side of me is going, no, what are you doing? And it drags me back, saying, why are you expressing yourself? You shouldn't do that. I can feel that. Just sit in the corner, be a good boy, don't speak. And that's like the one side that people are programmed to do. Literally, starts when you're a kid, it starts in the classroom, it starts when you're young. When something goes wrong, something is not going, when you ask a question or something that maybe something happens in your childhood, you're told to sit down and be quiet, or you're told to not speak, or let the adults talk, or it doesn't matter. But then you go, okay, and then so you huddle back into that little corner, and you're not as expressive. So think about it like this: if when you're a kid and something goes wrong, like just think about how if you were told no, or sit down because the adults are speaking, just think about it. Like you're gonna sit down and you're gonna be quiet because that's what you're told to do. And think about how well or how much we're programmed, bro. How much we literally are told to do things. And so when we get older, you just see most people are so huddled up in their own world. Like literally they don't want to speak. And I know this because obviously I'm like this, and I'm speaking about because something I had to come out of is unprogram the mind from these subconscious programmings that you're told as a young kid. Like just think about it. Most people in today's society, not everyone, but most are like that, especially in America, where people are just not wanting to be out there or more vocal. And you might say, what are you talking about? A lot of people out there are vocal. Yes, people are vocal out there doing protest or speaking their mind. But when it comes to majority of people, I don't mean as an expressive like art or music. I mean when people want to hide behind something, put on like a face mask, not physical, but sometimes it can be. They just want to hide and not show them their true self because they're afraid of what other people are going to think about them. They're afraid that if they say something, they're going to be rejected and not be accepted in a group by their family, by their friends. It doesn't matter. So then what we do is we put on this fake mask every day you wake up in the morning. If you're not like in the self-development or spiritual kind of community where you're not waking up and trying to unprogram your mind, meditate, it doesn't matter. When you are waking up in the morning, think about majority of people, they're going to wake up, brush their teeth, take a shower, maybe eat, feed their pet. They're going to go outside, and as soon as they step outside that door, the identity kicks in. I do think that most people do have obviously multiple identities, not like a bipolar issue, but when you're speaking to a friend, a customer, maybe a coworker, you're always going to have some sort of identity. And sometimes the identity is not always going to be that true self. It might be a mask you're hiding behind. Or even that crush you have. You don't want to show the true you because you feel like you will be rejected. And how do we get across to unprogramming the mind? What you got to do is take the time to actually hear your thoughts, hear your beliefs, and capture like the subtle things you're doing. Like literally take a breath whenever you are thinking. It is harder to do in conversations, but when you're thinking, but the human mind thinks a lot of thoughts per second. So if you are in isolation somewhere, doesn't matter if it's at work, at a park, in a restaurant by yourself, doesn't matter where you are. If you're by yourself and you have that moment and you can hear your thoughts and they're active, take the time to listen to those thoughts, because sometimes those thoughts are subconscious, sometimes they're conscious, and there's things that come in every second. And when you listen to the thoughts, sometimes you listen to like that idea of the things that are coming into you, and that those small increments of thoughts are just beliefs that can come in that tell you to do this, and then the identity of what kicks in, and you might be thinking, okay, this is what I have to do next, this is what I have to do next, this is how to act next. And those small things are the programmed in your mind. That can be the programming in your mind. What I'm getting at is, if you take the time to listen to your thoughts, and that's where you can actually start to unprogram yourself to actually change the identity. After 2020 and being in isolation and having my time breakdowns is where it allowed me to have a breakthrough, because I was starting to become more me, and I listening to the identity, just the thoughts, and becoming more into this spiritual and self-development kind of person, where I was like, you know what? I know I'm not this type of person people told me who I am. I'm not that person who I believed who I am. Now, okay, why am I thinking these subtle things? Why am I thinking of that when some of those thoughts are not important?